Hey, Rick, did you know that Napster is being sued again?
Uh, Napster? I didn't even know that
Yeah,
was still a thing, man. Really?
no one knew. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to explain to the youngsters what exactly a Napster is. We're going to get to that right now. Welcome in, old buddy of mine, Rick Toops, local piano stud. Rick, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, Scott. It's so good to hear from you, man. Yeah.
Well, we have an old music topic today, and I thought, who better than local musician Rick? Rick, tell them where they can find you.
Uh, let's see. If you're in Oklahoma City, you can find me at Grand House every Thursday night with the Mojo Men. Great music, the best Asian food you're going to find in Oklahoma City. It's down in the Asian district, at Classen and 23rd area over there. And at Junior Steakhouse, man, the classic steakhouse up on Northwest Expressway. Uh, I'm there on Wednesdays. Let's see, 6:30 to 9:30 or 10 or something like that. And it's an old school piano bar. Everybody just sits around the piano and we just cut up and play a bunch of music. So,
That is so cool. I got to get out there and see it.
yeah.
Now, the subject today is Napster. That probably is at least a little bit of a sore spot with you. Rick has music for sale. I bought one of his CDs a couple of years ago. Dude can play, but Napster cut into that.
Yes, it did. It did. It was, whoever thought of that? Of course, it was obviously a genius move. But yeah, it did. It was the beginning of the musicians get screwed anyway by the labels, of course, but
Right.
it really became the screwing that has continued today all the way up through Spotify.
We're going to talk about the screwing and
It's
so much more.
Yeah, it's the literal screwing of musicians throughout time. So
All right, so let's back up a little bit for the youngsters. Napster was basically Spotify. If Spotify was run out of a teenager's basement,
yeah.
shut down by Metallica, needed your parents' dial-up.
Uh-huh.
Little background: it launched in 1999. A couple of Sean's, Fanning and Parker, they were involved early. It was a centrally indexed storehouse for hosted files. It wasn't stored by a thing called Napster. Everybody had it on their own hard drive. They condensed the music down to an MP3, which was much faster. And the cultural impact, like you said, it normalized digital sharing,
Yeah.
and it pushed labels towards legal downloads and streaming.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anyone saw it coming. I think that was the main thing, and especially the music industry. They were like, "What is this?" And that's why it became such a big stink when they figured out what was
Oh,
going on.
that's true. But in the early days, when you picture this, you get 45 minutes to download a single song.
Yeah.
It just only discovered its mislabel. I mean, you wanted Zeppelin,
Yeah.
and you wind up with a 4-minute file to some dude sneezing into his webcam mic about a third of the time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, it was all bits and pieces. That's how they got away with it, I think. You weren't getting a song from, like you said, you weren't getting a song from one server or a person.
Right.
Anybody that had that song posted up, you were just getting little words and bits and pieces, and Napster was combining it into a file. And so technically you weren't stealing from anybody. You were just getting information from 1,000 different computers that just so happened to be a song. So
You had it. Well, yeah, you had it on your machine. I remember seeing the interface of it, and on the bottom under the downloads, it was a different color, and you would see one of the songs on your hard drive being uploaded by someone.
oh yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
so that was so wild, thinking there's somebody in Montreal downloading my bootleg of REO Speedway. It's
right.
so weird.
Yeah, and on their end, they've got 5 or 6 hosts that are downloading that. And like
Right.
you were saying, it might take 45 minutes if you're looking for something cool and obscure because there's only 2 or 3 people that have it uploaded.
I talked to a buddy of mine in Tennessee, and he has a radio background, a guy named Scott. And he told me he's got still stacks of CDs that he burned with just obscure things like that were on there that people had.
Yeah.
And it was like just a giant swap meet. If I got
Yeah.
something you want, here, take it.
Right, right.
It
And I think the biggest problem came in, you just hit on it there, when people could start burning CDs.
right.
You know, there was they didn't like the sharing part, but that they'd found a loophole. But when people started downloading full albums from other people and burning it on CDs, then it was a physical thing that they could sell if they wanted to.
I've seen them for sale, like
Yeah.
burned.
Oh
And the
yeah.
problem is for them, when you dub something from cassette to cassette, it degrades
Oh yeah.
every time you do it.
Oh yeah.
MP3s did, it was all
No.
digital.
No. And that was the deal. You could put it on it. I was at Granny's Music one day. I don't know if you remember Granny's, it was years ago. And a guy would come in, he was a shyster, and he would have burned albums, and he'd faked the album cover, or the art, the art, the CD art. And he would have DVDs of movies where he'd gone in and handheld a camera and stuff. And that's how he made his living, going around to places selling pirated music. So,
Oh my god.
yeah, I know.
That's
So
awful.
that's really when the stink started, whenever they realized that, hey, people can literally pirate the whole record and sell it on their own. And, that's when,
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't coming after you and me for downloading stuff in our house, but it became too
Well,
big of a
hang
thing, I
on.
think.
They eventually did. That's what helped bring the breakdown. So, I mean, Napster was a digital version of making mixtapes, except, you didn't hold the boombox up to the radio or
Yeah.
waiting for the DJ to shut up before
Right.
they started your Metallica song.
Yeah. Yeah. The boombox. I love it. Yeah. So they did
Yeah.
finally start coming after people, huh?
Well, yeah, there was some single mom, I think in Seattle, that had downloaded a couple of songs and she was sued for like $1.5 million.
Wow.
And there was like a 14-year-old kid and his parents were on the hook because he did it from their house.
Wow.
And like, yeah, so it was really over the top. Like that's a lot of money for
Yeah.
what would have been 99 cents one day on iTunes.
Right. Well, I guess they're, going to make examples of people and try to get them to get out of there. Hey,
Right.
I will tell
That's what
you,
it was for.
you're talking about all the pieces that you would get. This is a true story. Hand to God. I was ripping off, I'll just say it. I was ripping off a John Mayer song. And I kid you not, the song started and then John Mayer's voice came on the track and said, if you're listening to this MP3, that means you're stealing my music. And it quit. And I was like, that is the strangest thing ever. He'd put out his own virus version of his own song.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. I was like,
When
listen to
was
this.
that?
Oh, I had a little player. This is back when it might have come off of LimeWire, but I think it came off of Napster, but it might have been LimeWire. But I was just shocked. He was so upset with it that he was putting fake versions with a nice little message on his song. If you've
That's wild.
if you're hearing this, that means you've stolen my music, and the song quit. Like, oh man, like you said, I waited 45 minutes to have John Mayer bitch me out.
Oh, John, I'm sorry, buddy. I guess you'll have to console yourself with your legions of fans and millions of dollars and Jennifer Aniston, your girlfriend.
Yeah, I read today he's worth $70 million. So I don't think
Yeah, I
don't
hope
think
you
it
get
hurt him.
over it, John.
Yeah. Yeah, poor guy.
So
Yeah.
the big stink with it didn't start until Metallica's little drummer, Lars Ulrich,
Uh-huh.
decided he was fed up with people, 14-year-old kids listening to Enter Sandman
Right.
without paying him.
Right. Again, the biggest selling metal album of all time. They weren't hurting for
Yeah.
money, that's for sure.
Right.
So, yeah.
And again, I get it. It's not like, oh, you've got yours. Here's, now we get to steal it.
Right.
I'm not wild. I'm not wild about that.
No.
I'm not wild about the overreach. Like he raised hell. He went to Congress. He
Yeah.
combed over his bald spot and shook his fist in the air, griping at, it was a bad look. I think people within the band even were like, dude, tone it down.
Yeah, they put him on a booster seat so that he could set up high on the table at Congress.
He's just so obnoxious.
Well, to me, it was like, okay, even John Mayer, if John Mayer would have been the spokesperson, because from the beginning he hated it. But
right.
to me, the whole thing with the Lars thing, is that when they started, all they did was brag about how it was homegrown. And they're like, the only reason we exist is because of our fans. One of their friends would buy a cassette and dub it and
Oh,
give it to
that's
their
true.
friends, and they dub it and give it to their friends. We're so thankful for our fans for spreading our music. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so one year you're thankful that your fans bootlegged your records. And
Right.
then the next year, you're the poster child for bootlegging. It just, and again, I agree. I'm a musician. I don't think, the musicians don't get paid enough by any service, that's
Right.
streaming music. But it just seemed weird that he was the guy that was going to come out and make that happen. It was strange.
Well, here's the kicker. While he was wagging his finger at all the teenagers with a modem, he's over in England playing the Download Festival. The Download Festival is what it was called.
Oh, I
That's
never
not
thought about
irony.
that. Oh.
Yeah, that's not irony. That's performance art.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I never looked at it that way. That's true. Yeah.
He's screaming about piracy while cashing a check from an event literally named after the crime. It's like Nancy Reagan cutting the ribbon at a weed dispensary.
Ah, yes. Welcome to Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, that's as tone deaf as his drumming.
Yeah. Oh, ouch. That's true. Yeah.
Just don't like him. I should
Yeah.
stop.
Well, we can't beat him up too bad because again, inner Sandman, baby. I mean,
Right? Hey, everybody, it's your favorite part of the show, a commercial for what you're already doing. We've experienced some growth recently, and that's all thanks to you, our listeners. Thank you so much for your continued support by listening every week. And to all that forward to your friends or people you think might be interested, that's really made an impact as well. We're picking up traction in Ireland, of all places. Maybe they could tell I'm a redhead. If you enjoy the show, you can help us out by hitting up our Facebook page at Free Nights and Weekends Podcast, leaving a review or comment on the page. We read all the comments. It's great seeing ideas and comments about the show from all over. Also, if you enjoy the show, please give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. That helps out as well. All right, enough of this. So again, for the youngsters here trying to figure this out, picture 1999. You got this beige PC, a dial-up modem, screams like a robot.
yeah.
And it's early, peer to peer, and it was the Wild West, man. There were no rules.
No.
That you couldn't, the laws couldn't keep up with the technology at the time. It still can't on a lot of things.
Right. It changed everything, man. Well, and you said Wild West. It also was the prime time of the hackers, the kids that knew how to change code and create viruses. You could kill your parents' computer. You download the wrong thing and all of a sudden your screen goes blue and it's put something in your. I had a computer, literally whatever they put in there overheated and burned the computer up. The fan kicked on, everything got hot, and it was unusable. I'm like, man, that's a pretty powerful virus if they know how to tell your computer to blow itself up.
Wow. So, under the hood of the thing, like we touched on earlier, they kept just a big list of which MP3s that everyone had on their computers. They shared them directly. That's how I would see on my computer a song being uploaded from my computer, which is so weird. I remember the
Yeah.
first time I saw it, I thought, there's some guy on there. But, there was no servers full of songs. It was just a worldwide web of teens and college age kids trading like baseball cards. Like it was,
Oh yeah.
dudes on AOL like Skater Punk XX4 is taking my
Right.
song.
Is sending me my Barry Manilow song or, yeah, it was weird because they couldn't track anybody down. Who are you going to go after? And that was Napster's whole point. They're like, who are you going after? We're not even, all we do is just supply a whatever they're doing on there. That's between them. It's a free world. If they want to borrow something from Skater Boy, whatever,
Right.
then they could do that, so it
Right.
was a difficult time for all that Napster stuff.
Borrow.
Yeah. Borrow.
Swipe or just copy, steal. Do you
Right.
remember
Just plain
that
steal.
like a
Yeah.
third of the songs were labeled Weird Al? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
I
No.
read an interview with him where he said that's his biggest frustration. He doesn't care about it. It's just all these crappy parodies that people are doing in their garage, and they say it's Weird Al, and people listen to it and think this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, so his biggest complaint was just not labeled correctly.
Right. It's like, I can imagine him saying, if it's going to be terrible, let it be me, because I make
Right.
terrible, you know? I
Well,
could hear
see,
him saying something like that.
he had, um he had a point when you'd look at the songs, they even the same titles had, like, slightly different lengths to them,
Right.
and, like, they it wasn't uniform, like, it was just a hodgepodge. You download a song, it takes 45 minutes, it sounds like a fax machine being murdered with that
Yeah. Oh,
dial-up
yeah.
sound,
Oh, golly.
and
Yeah.
it was just a wild time. I don't know that you could really describe it now, 'cause iTunes is so slick
Oh,
now,
yeah. Yeah.
and the streaming service I listen to all the time is Amazon. I have Prime, so they have a great,
Oh,
uh
yeah. Me too.
they
I
have a
listen to that all
great
the time. Yeah.
yeah, and so it's just so matter of fact now. I can't see it. You couldn't get a Gen Z kid to imagine walking to a record store, looking through the vinyl or cassettes, seeing all the cool artwork. That was the
Yeah.
best part, taking it home, opening it up, and smelling that print,
Oh,
reading
dude. And
the
waiting for
lyrics.
waiting for a release date, and then in Oklahoma, the release had happened, but they hadn't make it to stores yet. I remember Joshua Tree, every day we went to Soundtrack, "It's out." Well, it hadn't made it to Oklahoma yet, we're waiting on it to get shipped,
Oh
but
my
it was
gosh.
the anticipation of all that was great.
I remember going to Sound Warehouse on 240,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
uh, at midnight when a new album would drop. There was what was it? I guess it was 5150 from Van Halen. I went
Oh,
there,
yeah.
my brother took me because I wasn't driving yet,
Right.
and, at midnight, they wouldn't sell it a minute before,
Oh, no.
and, we bought it, we popped it in his cassette player on in his Cutlass, and it sounded great.
"Hello, baby." Right? Isn't that how
That's
that one
it,
started?
man. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I love that one, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
now, I think the music kinda sucks now, but that's what every old man says,
right,
but I
right,
wouldn't buy an album now,
right,
just 11 songs of crap and one that hits on the radio,
right.
but, back then, yeah, I always
Well,
did.
back then, they used to make records for that purpose, especially vinyl. The record was built, and the A side had a point. You flip it over, the B side had a point. Now, and this probably goes back to our Napster conversation. Now it's just single driven, one song. I don't think artists are necessarily thinking about an album of material. Like you said, it's well, if Spotify hits this one, if they want to buy a copy of our record, we just need some stuff on there, you know. And I think that really hurt the music industry, or at least as far as the art, the way I look at it. The single download has changed everything.
I had a dude down the street, he drove an IROC, of course he did. It was in the
Yes.
'80s, and he had cassettes, like, in a suitcase, like, they were, had little cassette compartments, like, anything I wanted to hear, and he was a cool dude, we played basketball, and it's the tape deck, the tape case itself, it smelled like Armor All and Marlboros, and then later, it was full of those 12 CDs for a penny from Columbia House that we all had.
Oh, yeah, I still owe money on that,
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, yeah.
Or that vacant house in the circle that I lived at, they owe money where where they were mailed to.
So you doubled up. You got 2 dozen for 2 pennies, huh? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, good
yeah,
times.
it was important that you mail the penny in.
Oh, important,
To
very. Yeah,
Yeah. So, all the chaos of taping off the radio and all that stuff, it it ended like a
yeah,
record scratch with this because dude, uh I had downloads on my old hard drive. Uh, I had Malmsteen playing, I can't remember who it was, but you'd find, like, really rare, uh, collaborations and stuff from the studio, and I don't know how people got it,
right.
but they were emptying out vaults of this stuff, and
Yeah,
you would get weird duets, weird thing and bands playing outside of their genre, like, it was everything, and
right.
it was like corralling cats, whatever you wanted.
Yeah, and that as you're saying that, I'm thinking that really was a cool thing because for the artist, they're like, "Oh, man, we can release this without a label and, and put this out and try some different things, and people will actually well, obviously, like you did, download it and actually hear what we're doing outside of the label's constraints." with everything, there's positive and negatives, but that's definitely a positive to that thing, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and then, you wanted that. I'm sure that sold high capacity modems. Like my 24K wasn't cutting it anymore with,
Oh, yeah.
you get a 56K because I could download an entire album in only
Yeah.
half a day instead of a
Right.
weekend.
Oh, I remember when 56 came out. It was, I remember I got a computer and my dad, it was my first Apple and it had a 2 gig hard drive and a 56K modem. And he said,
Nice.
that's ridiculous. Nobody needs that much storage space. And who needs 56K speed? And I'm like, boy, was he wrong. I got a terabyte on my phone over here,
I've got 2 terabytes on the laptop that I'm talking through now.
Right. Exactly. So yeah. So 56K was a big deal unless somebody called your phone while you were dialed up. Then your whole day was ruined. Instead of being able, remember if you were trying to download off
Yes.
Napster and somebody called home and it just cut your connection and it was all
Yeah.
useless until you could get back on and start again. So, yeah.
Well, CompuServe and AOL had their limitations.
Oh, CompuServe. That was yeah, I was an
What's the
AOL kid.
difference?
Right.
We all
Yeah.
were. Yeah. Uh,
Chat rooms on AOL. That was the difference. Yeah.
right. Yeah. You want to
Yeah.
you want to get a yeah, man, they had, do you remember though the early days? There's going to be a future episode about the early days of the internet. That's marginally Gen X. We were in college,
Right.
but
Right. Well, you
um
said Wild West, and that's everything was on the table at that point. So, yeah.
yeah, that's nuts. I
Yeah.
miss it. I miss the days of like you could just come up with an idea and it was way, way more agile than established norms and laws and stuff. It's just, and that's the cool thing about technology. That always happens.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always one step ahead, and I do like when it sticks it to the man a little bit, where they're like, wow. The
There
whole
there
the whole
was. Oh, go
MP3
ahead.
thing, like, wow, we never thought in a million years, who would have thought that these kids would learn how to compress audio to be able to send it over a phone line? Wow,
Yeah,
totally blindsided. So,
your story about sticking it to the man. I heard an interview with Kevin Cronin of REO Speedwagon, and he said after the download period and after digital took over, the record companies were still charging them breakage. There was a 3 or 4% uh
what?
siphon they took off the top because of any records, any physical media that went out. They would figure 2% of it would break or warp or whatever.
Wow.
And they were still
Wow.
charging them that. It was still in all the contracts. He said he found it. And like, what is this? And they told him what it was. He said, we hadn't had a record pressed in a decade.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're still taking it out. So
Well, of course. Of
it's
course they
really
are.
hard to yeah, it's hard to shed a tear over a record company
Yeah.
losing
Yeah, it is
money.
for me too, because the contracts are built for failure. They're probably going to cut your album then write you off. Not push it
Yeah.
enough and use you as a tax write-off. If they do make you a success, they've already got it. They know that you want to play music more than anything. They've got you by the cajones, as it were.
Right.
So, yeah,
Golly.
yeah.
Oh well.
But
That's
that was the cool thing about Napster there for a minute is we were sticking it to the man, and
the black
that's a big Gen X thing, man. Stick it to the man. I guess it's also a hippie thing, but
that's true. I think we were the last generation that did that. What was LimeWire? I never used it. I've always heard of it. Was it after Napster?
yeah, it was after Napster, and it was even more Wild West because videos you could you had a cable modem come in, so you could download movies, and it was a peer to peer kind of thing too. But it was talk about Wild West. It was definitely riddled with viruses and bad things. You know,
Mm.
and that's when like you were saying, collaborations and things. That's when they started doing fake. Hey, Weird Al covers
Right.
whatever song, and you'd be like, oh, cool. Or so and so Steven Tyler sings with, some artist with Madonna. Wow, really? And all it would be was something to crash your computer, just some virus. Because
That's
there's
great.
some really crappy people out there that just like I was like, why would somebody do that? And there's some kid in his mom's basement laughing because he knew how to you downloaded my virus and it gave me all your
That's
credit card
ridiculous.
information and
All right,
stuff.
so while we're stomping on the grave of Napster, which doesn't exist, they're still around. Let's
Yeah,
cover that
crazy.
lawsuit real quick. Sony, I guess, in a hilarious throwback, decided to sue Napster. I guess. Okay, I read about it, and it turns out that Napster has been sold, I think, 8 times, and
Wow.
they're just buying the name. At one time, Best Buy bought it because they were going to bundle it with all of their laptops and computers, and I think early smart TVs,
Wow.
and it didn't fly. They've never made a dollar. They've never made money uh, through all the ownership changes, and so now
Yeah.
whoever owns it now, I don't remember who. So I think some German company bought it. Sony's saying, "Well, you're not paying us royalties," and so they're suing them. But
Wow.
again, I don't know how Napster's making money. It's not subscription based. I know the original guys tried to insert advertising, and it didn't go
Right.
over.
Right. You created something that's meant to be pirated, and then, yeah, how are you going to charge for it? You know. So
Well,
how are they going to
it's like
sue?
Craig.
What are they suing
Well,
for?
because I think they do now. I don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that if they're distributing music, and there's really no getting around this, if they're distributing music and they're not paying royalties, they've got to
Right.
either stop or cough it up. I mean,
Right.
I don't think any court would disagree with that. So I don't know.
Yeah, which, again, it's always been, that's why Napster was genius, because it's not one person, it's sharing. And that, I can hear the guy from Napster back in the day in front of Congress saying it's sharing. People are sharing their music with their neighbors. Of course, my neighbor lives in another country, you know.
Right. Right. It didn't work for people sharing Excel and Word back before.
No,
That
yeah,
was pirating. And so
right,
just because
right.
it's a 3-minute song doesn't mean it's any less pirated.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think
I mean,
that's a term.
we all had a, yeah, pirated. That's a Gen X term for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, we all had a copy of Windows XP that our neighbor gave us,
Yes.
Pirated,
Of course we
man.
did.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Sheesh, am I saying
No.
this?
o- Of
No.
course not.
Yeah, of course
But
not.
I
I
know that
didn't.
there's a lot of people that probably did.
Right. The other people, not me.
Right.
Yeah.
Redheads, blue eyes,
Yeah. Yeah.
stunning smile.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Not you though. Right.
No. Good Lord,
No.
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 Ricky, I'm excited to get out there and hear you play. Tell us again where you are during the week.
Okay. Thursday nights, I'm at Grand House on North Classen, about 24th and North Classen with the Mojo Men. You can find us on, all the socials. 6 to 9, like the drummer says, it's good working man hours. You can have dinner and make it home before the news. Wednesday nights, not this Wednesday, but starting the following week, I'll be at Junior's Supper Club up in the oil building up on Northwest Expressway. They've been there forever, and it's a solo piano thing, just playing all of your favorites, and everybody sings along, just having a good time. So,
That is cool. What is your favorite song to sit down and play?
oh man, there's so many right now, but I grew up on Bruce Hornsby. I love the way it is. I love playing it. I love singing it. And, but every week I kind of come across something that I've been on a kick of the WKRP in Cincinnati theme. That's one for all the Gen Xers out there.
That's not bad.
Baby, if you ever wonder, that one.
Yeah, I know it.
So
Do you ever do the closing theme?
no, I've never,
The,
no. Oh yeah. That's a great song, dude.
that's a great trivia question to ask somebody if they know the lyrics.
Oh yeah, I could just. Well, I'm gonna now when we're done here, I'm gonna look up and see if somebody has actually tried to get the lyrics off of that. So
There are
yeah,
none. Do you know that story?
no, huh?
It is purposeful gibberish.
Awesome, well
They
done.
while they were recording it, yeah, while they were recording it, either the producer or someone said, "Man, just go in there and knock it out. Just mumble through it." And so the guys just like babble the whole thing.
Wow,
It's the song that you're listening to. The
yeah,
lyrics are like nobody can sing it because
there are
it's
no
nothing.
lyrics.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder if it was one of those deals where go in it. Paul McCartney would do it a lot. Go in and just gibberish to kind of get the melody and get a feel, and we'll put lyrics in later. And then they're like, no, it's perfect like it is. Just leave
That
it.
had to be that Obel D song that what's it? Life Goes On.
Obla D, Obla Da.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that's how that got born.
Exactly. We'll put lyrics in later and then no lyrics. So,
That's it. Ricky, what a treat to have you on this week, man. I
man,
appreciate you doing
thank
it.
you. Thank you. I had a lot of fun. Appreciate it, man.
So good. I got to have you back. I got another music episode coming up in a couple of months, and I will give you a ring.
Man, please do. Thanks, Scott.
I appreciate it, buddy. Talk to you later.
Popular internet sites for downloading music. A federal court ruled Monday Napster must stop allowing music fans to swap copyrighted material. Eyewitness News 25's John Shaman has the story.
When we had 700,000 members and when we had 17 million members.
Meanwhile, Napster fans are going to keep downloading until the very end.
There's going to be a lot of upset people in the United States. I'll tell you that much.
John Shaman, WPBF Eyewitness News 25.
Does anyone ever call you Ricky anymore?
I can always tell the people that know me the longest.
Because you're always Rick. Yeah. And so if I let that slip, I'll fix it.
No, that's okay. It's fine because it's endearing. The people that know me as Ricky, that means we've known each other a really long time at this point. So
Since the leather pants days.
yeah. My mom wouldn't let me buy parachute pants for some reason, but she let me buy those leather pants. I don't.
What? That's backward.
I know.
Parachute
I know it is.
Parachute pants is the gateway to leather pants.
But yeah, I just skipped a step, I guess. So
She just let you. Okay.
yeah,
fine. I had a leather tie.
Oh yeah. Oh
Just
man,
stupider.
the leather skinny ties. I love it.
Yeah, that's dumber than the pants. Like the pants are like early Queen cool.
Right.
Well, not early, like the Crazy Little Thing era, early 80s.
Yeah. Well, the skinny ties are back in now. I see the kids wearing skinny ties. So, and thank God the mullet came back. I thought we were the only generation to have the mullet.
Dude, I'm telling you, I had one glorious mullet in high school. It was bright orange, of course.
Oh yeah.
And that thing could grant wishes. It was just like you just had to rub it.
You're talking about the mullet, right?
The mullet. Yes. You got to cup the bottom.
Oh.
All right. We're finished with this.